Hello, my name is Rainer Hanekamp and this is NG News with the latest updates from the Angular community every week. First, a cross-site script vulnerability was discovered in Angular. If you use Angular's internationalization and you apply it to HTML attributes, their values are not sanitized. The fix was applied to the supported versions of 19, 20 and 21. Mark Thompson, Angular DevRel, was guest at NG Asia. His session was a mix between presentation but also Q&A. For example, he shared his vision on how AI will shape the way development will work for us.
Where you have one end, which is like, oh, I only do like maybe autocomplete AI assistance, and the other extreme of like no human, all agent. I think somewhere in the middle we'll find the most productivity.
He also explained what AI means for future applications, where the UI is just another AI tool which will be instrumented by the LLM. At the moment, there are already some tools that can do that, for example, Hashbrown. Mark Thompson also hosted the monthly Q&A session. This time his guest was Alain from the Angular team, and Alain presented Angular's MCP server together with Chrome's MCP server. MCP means that the LLM can call tools, can do something, and not just return text. Angular's MCP server provides up-to-date documentation on best practices, can help to migrate to zoneless, or act as a tutor. Together with Chrome's MCP server, it allows the LLM to verify its generated code automatically and fix it. Two answers of the Q&A session stood out. First, skills and MCP are not mutually exclusive. They can be used together.
If I'm trying to teach Alon how to play guitar, it's not the same thing as me saying, Alon, press this button to play Master of Puppets. And then Master of Puppets plays the same way every time. And the skill is more like, hey, Alon, here's how you play Master of Puppets. Now you play it. Alon may nail it the first time, or he may say, well, there's an extra verse in Master of Puppets that you didn't know about.
Second, why is Angular investing so much in AI? According to Mark,
we said this a long time ago that Angular isn't really focused on like popularity in general, really focused on making sure Angular is the best framework for Angular developers. You have to have tools that modern developers are using. Because if we didn't have any AI stuff, then people will say, well, Angular is not ready for the future.
As mentioned in a previous episode, there is an experimental TypeScript compiler written in Rust by v22, which is the company behind Vite. That compiler is called the Oxidation compiler. The interesting thing is that it's written in Rust and not in Go, which is the language of choice for the upcoming TypeScript rewrite. Brendan Roberts, who is well known in the Angular community, has integrated the Oxidation compiler into Analog.js, a meta framework for Angular which supports building Angular with Vite. Brendan posted a benchmark stating that the build time with Angular's esbuild dropped from 47 seconds to 1.5 seconds, roughly 97% improvement. Angular's roadmap got an update, or one could say a reprioritization. In short, AI is king. Topics like a new authoring format, streaming for server-side rendering, or improvements to the testbed were removed. That doesn't mean that these topics will never be worked on, but for now they have been deprioritized. And if you are a fan of download numbers, despite the results of the JavaScript survey, Angular seems to be in quite a strong position. In May 2024, weekly downloads exceeded 4 million for the first time. In the week of March the 9th, they were above 5 million, roughly a 20% increase within a year. For reference, Angular passed 3 million weekly downloads in February 2022. Fatima Amzil published an article about an upcoming signal-based function called debounced. Do not confuse it with debounce in signal forms. That one is only relevant for signal forms, and debounce is the synchronization between a form field and its model. Debounced, on the other hand, works for any signal, be it a computed, a linked signal, or just a function that returns a value, which will be automatically tracked, of course. The return value is not another signal, but a resource. Debounced is targeted for Angular 22. Michael Small also contributed a post on Blue Sky with a GIF demonstrating that new function. In other news, Angular Vienna Meetup took place, and the recording of the live stream is available on YouTube. At the Meetup, Dmitro Meshensky, also known as Decoded Frontend, gave his first public talk. Other speakers were Mathieu Riegler from the Angular team on JavaScript in general and the upcoming changes in Angular due to the TypeScript rewrite in Go, Manfred Steyer on AI in Angular, and Daniel Sendre on Angular hacks. Sonu Kapoor published an in-depth article on the evolution of Angular forms in Code Magazine. That article contains almost 15,000 words. And that's it. I wish you a nice week and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.